Welcome to another episode of the True Beast Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and I am back, and I'm running this thing a little solo this time. Well, not a little solo. It's actually going to be solo, and it's not because, I'm on bad terms with any of our past hosts or anything, but I want to be able to say things that I want to be able to say without putting them in position to be scrutinized for it. And it allows me to drop more episodes more efficiently and to continuously bring you guys value, which is what I always wanted to do. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? About a couple months ago, I posted a video where the video was showcasing me sweeping out the warehouse. The warehouse looked empty. And in the quotes in the quotes, I stated it was fun while it lasted. And I could see where that could get misconstrued. And everybody kind of went apeshit, to be honest with you. It was very interesting because I got tons of calls and messages from people who were concerned and actually cared and said, this ain't over. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing, which was very motivational. Then I also had, a few of people who actually were doing thank God posts. Thank God XDOG is gone. Thank God this is over. How dare a company or a brand or a mission go after dog obesity, right? And the way that they go after dog obesity, which is inspiring people to exercise their dogs. How dare them impact tens of thousands of dogs' lives every single year, physically, mentally, health-wise, both internal, external, when it comes to anxiety, dog psychology, just lowering the risk of health-related diseases. Why have a company like that in our industry? And so it was really interesting because I had individuals who really cared, and it gave me a lot of hope and it inspired me. And then I had a lot of individuals, or a few individuals who, I'm sorry to disappoint you, it's not over. So let me kind of give you guys some insight on what actually was going on. So in our warehouse, we had 2 levels, and I don't know how this happened. I can only attest this to God and manifestation. So about 5 years ago, it was about 5 years ago, actually. A friend of mine who owns a dog food manufacturing company, one of the largest ones here in the United States, especially when it comes to freeze-dried, I went out to a pet retail convention called Super Zoo. Now, Super Zoo is basically, if you're in the pet industry, it's completely different than e-commerce. Now, there is starting to become a blend when it comes to that, but it's a totally different world. When I talk to them about, when I walk into individuals and I'm talking to them about social media and stuff like that, it's like literally talking to a room full of individuals who are 100 years old. They don't care. They don't care what type. Some people ask, what the hell is an influencer? And it was just very interesting, but I'm starting to see this transition. Anyways, buddy of mine introduces me to a guy by the name of Brian. Now, he thought Brian would be a great fit because Brian is in the next town over, a major wholesale distribution company. Claim to fame is to do basically every doggy gate that you see inside, like Petco, PetSmart, Hollywood Feed, all these, pretty big chains. And they've got a bunch of other, smaller stores as well. But basically direct wholesale, that's what they do. They don't just sell on Amazon. Amazon purchases a product from them, then resells it. And so they're really connected, been in the game for almost 20 years. And it just wasn't the right time. We went out, had lunch, and it just wasn't a right fit. And August, our lease was up. So I'm like, God, if there is a sign that you can give me to ask me to stay, or I think I should stay, please give it to me. Not within this next day, I was fixing to leave the HQ here, and I was actually about to go sign a lease over in Rockwall because I found a smaller location because we just don't need 10,000 square foot. A couple walks in through the door. Did not recognize who they were whatsoever. And he goes, "Hey, Stan, it's Brian. I met you at a show a few years ago." And I'm like, "Dog show?" I couldn't recognize him because when I actually met him first time, he was all corporate out. This time he had longer hair. He was in work mode. So he literally had cargos on and stuff. So I didn't recognize him. He's like, "I met you out at Pet Global." It was actually not Super Zoo. It was Pet Global. And I said, "Oh, I met you through so-and-so." And they're like, "Yeah, that's it." Anyways, he goes, "It looks like we're going to be neighbors." I said, "Interesting." I said, "Unfortunately, we're actually fixing to move out. This is our last month." He goes, "Well, show me the place." So I go around, take him around. He's really impressed with the build out. He's like, "Well, what do you want to do with these racks? You want to sell them to me?" Because he's actually getting the place next door. And where I deal with maybe 50 pallets at a time, They deal with like 1,500 pallets at a time, truckloads after truckloads after truckloads. So he's a major player in the game. And I go, well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind selling them to you, but it'd be better if you just actually came in here and subleased and moved in, and let's just go kill it together. And he goes, is that an option? And I said, well, yeah. He goes, well, let me talk to my his wife, Victoria, and let me get back to you. Next day, I get a text. He's like, let's move forward. So I'm like, holy shit, this is really happening. And the next thing I do, after we get him moved in, I'm like, man, we still have some additional space. We have about 3,000 square feet, 2,500, 3,000 square feet. It'd be nice to utilize that space somehow. I was trying to get dog training going, just couldn't find a good trainer to get involved with us. And I also was trying to, put a fitness center in there. It's not the right timing. And I'm like, God, give me a sign. Next thing I know, I'm getting a message from a good friend of mine who owns a company called the 411 Agency. And he's like, Stan, I'm looking for, you looking for a roommate? I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, I'm looking for some warehouse space. You have anything available? He goes, I need about 2,500 square feet. I said, that's interesting. Another sign, another lifeline. And next thing I know, he stops by, place perfect for him. Everything that's set up how he wants to set it up is perfect. So now I've got the printing company that's moving in here. That'll be in here. Actually, we're starting to move now, but they're going to be in here on November 1st. So we're going to have direct to garment printing. We're working on getting an embroidery machine so we can do customized patches. We're going to be able to do all the inserts that we want to do as far as just like trifolds, fold, anything you would see that you would need as far as marketing goes. We're going to have it in house. And so what's interesting about this whole situation is not only did I know that we needed to make a pivot and change, the reason why I was actually sweeping out the warehouse is so we could actually go 3-level high instead of 2-level high, because I didn't have that much inventory and Brian needed more space. So when I meant what I said, it was fun while it lasted. It was fun while I was lasted doing it a specific way. I actually had to sit here and I had to make a major pivot, because we've done this system for about 6 years, 5.5, 6 years, and it stretched itself. It was going to go where it needed to go. But in order for me to be able to get this product, the XDOG vest, to millions of people, I had to take a different approach. I needed to bring in the right strategic partners that were going to be able to help us, one, with distribution in another division within the company, which is the wholesale pet retail industry. That's a major industry, and it's a totally different ballgame. We're going to have to create a very unique product that will get it at the price point to where it can move massive volume, and that the retail stores can make their 50 to 60 points that they need to make, and us being able to make the margins that we need to make it even worth our while. And so I'm going to take you guys through that journey, because this is actually a new journey for me on a personal level, because now we're going to make space in retail. And I got some other crazy stories I got to tell you with these connections. Now, what's really important about this move is that I just didn't bring in some people to sublease. I brought in individuals, or I was gifted individuals who we all bring resources to one another. So now I'm around other entrepreneurs who have come in and are like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this space. This is going to be the shipping area. I move like 5,000 packages a month. So I'm going to connect you, and we're going to actually put our shipping together to hopefully bring our value pricing down when it comes to shipping price points. So we're going to be able to save there. I'm saving on utilities. I'm saving on overhead when it comes to leasing. And on top of that, I have resources of individuals who have massive experience and a huge network. James is really connected in the industry. He hooked me up already with a new biochemist and laboratory that's actually local. He has massive connections in sourcing products. Brian has massive connections in sourcing products, and meeting with those guys also inspired a new product that we're currently working on, which is I wanted to launch a lifestyle app years ago, and I just didn't have the capital resources. Ironically, within this network, they have an individual who's already made one, but they need a product to put it in. So it's so important, guys, that you not only surround yourself around individuals, just, to not just individuals, but individuals who are actually going to bring value into your life. You got to be able to stop hanging around these individuals who are draining you. They're not go-getters. They're not going to be individuals who want to see you grow. And you will know, because instantaneously, as soon as I got in here with them, they instantly wanted to see me grow and they wanted to be able to help me. And so we're making a pivot. I wanted to clear the air and clear the story. If you have always been a part of Team XDOG and part of this XDOG movement, thank you so much. I'm going to be dropping gems every week. Hopefully I can knock this out a few days a week. Leave us some comments within, some of these posts on social media of what you want us to talk about. I'm going to show you how to extend the life of your dog. I'm going to show you how to stretch dog food and make it superior when it comes to what you're feeding your dog. My whole mission here is to eliminate dog obesity and to help dog owners give their dog a higher quality life and a longer quality life. And we're going to do it with the most impactful tool in the world, the XDOG vest. And we're also going to do it with your help. So thank you so much for being a part of this team and mission of owning healthy, happy dogs. And I promise you, I'm going to pour my heart and soul into these future episodes. You just stay with us. And as always, Team XDOG strong.